Guys, deluded gooner, good evening on this fine Sunday afternoon. Yeah, man, obviously we've played Southampton, but we might as well preview the West Ham game. Now, for those who don't know, Wednesday we play West Ham, and it's a game we need to win. In our last two games, a possible 6 points, we've only taken one, so we've dropped 5 points. Not only that, in our last game against Southampton, again, drop points on the road. Again, silly defensive errors with between Mertesacker and Monreal, like we saw with Mustafi and Koscielny the week before. So yeah, the good news is another game has come around thick and fast. We need to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. We're in the December period. We've got games we should be winning, and then we've got a big clash on the 22nd of December, and at least until they move it for TV rights, against Liverpool. And then early on next year, I believe our first game of the new year, correct me if I'm wrong, is on the 3rd of January against Chelsea. Two very big games at the end of this month and beginning of next year. So we need to be winning our games. We've got games we should be winning. There's 6 points on the line this week. We've got Southampton. We've got Hammers away, relegation contenders. We'll get onto them. And then on Saturday, which we'll preview in another vid, we've got at 3 o'clock. We've got Newcastle. We've got another relegation threatening side. So we need to respect them and not assume we're gonna win. But we should be taking points from this. Yeah, we sit 5th at this moment in time. I know some people will be playing on Tuesday, and obviously we're playing on Wednesday. There's not much in it. We failed to win. Burnley, surprise story of the league, breathing down our necks. Spurs, who had a little bit of mini crisis, got out of it now, beating Stoke. Breathing down our necks if we drop points. We're breathing down Liverpool's neck, who dropped points, who dropped points again, like us on the weekend. So we need to win our games. That's the glorious thing, and I keep telling you lot, you can't predict the top 4 out of them top 6 sides, unless obviously City, who are winning the league. You can make a case, because Spurs were in crisis, but they're 1 point behind Arsenal. Arsenal were in crisis, but we're ahead of Spurs. Liverpool, you had their mini crisis, and now they're back. And when they were actually playing well, they weren't being praised. Chelsea were 1 minute they're the only side that can catch City. Now they're in a bit of trouble. So this is why the Premier League's exciting, and why I say you really, until the end of January, you can't really be predicting the top 4. So yeah, man, we sit 5th. We need to win, man. Liverpool face West Brom. They're probably gonna win that based if we just look at current form. Of course, I hope to be wrong. Spurs got Brighton. The same goes for them. United got Bournemouth. You'd like to think they're gonna take points. Chelsea got Huddersfield. You'd like to think they take points. So there's people behind us, there's people above us, and there's people playing but side to side of us that are playing games they should be winning. So again, we cannot drop points. We really cannot afford to drop points, man. There's 6 points on the line this week against 2 relegation contenders. We should be winning that. We can move up to 4th depending on results, like I said, depending on results and things, like I said. Goal difference is a bit booky with the other sides. I ain't really got any of that to hand, so I can't work out for you. But yeah, we can move up to 4th. We want to get top 4, and the top 4 is not decided in December, but we need to win our games, simply put. Our opponents, Hammers, they're in 18th. I do think they're too good to go down, but they sit 18th. They need to be picking up points. They got battered against away form has been a bit. Their away, we obviously go to their place, but away form has been their big problem. Just by looking at their results, you can see away form is a big problem for them. I know of recent they went to City and put in a committed performance, but away form has been a massive problem. They got ripped against. Have they played City twice? But yeah, I'm so sure they played City twice now. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but they got battered against the two Manchester clubs earlier on in the season. They lost 4-1 at home versus Liverpool. Fair enough, they were unlucky at home in that narrow defeat against Spurs. What I'm trying to show you guys is a picture of how they play against the top 6. They're going to obviously up their game, and to be honest, their form and a lot of that goes out the window when you play Arsenal or any top side. You're going to raise your performance. So like I said, defeat against Manchester United and City, narrow 3-2 loss against Spurs, which they could have done better, and they shot themselves in the foot. They beat Chelsea, obviously great result to beat Chelsea, great result. And narrowly lost to City away from home. So yeah, they've lost twice to City, innit? Forgive me if I'm wrong. That might be wrong. They can't have played City twice. But I'm so sure 2 Manchester clubs beat them early on in the year. But either way, they beat Chelsea, which was a great victory for them, no doubt about that, and a narrow defeat against City the week before they won against Chelsea. So that's 2 big games. They'd expect to get no points. They probably writ that off when they looked at their season in August, and certainly this month. But they put in 2 convincing performances, and they should take confidence going into it. So when they go and get a more favourable fixture list, like for those who don't know, they've got us, they've got Chelsea. Obviously, I've already said City, and there's a couple other big sides. That when they get out of this, they can take their confidence and play the sides in and amongst around them, because they've got a favourable fixture list coming on. So we can show based on how they've played in their last 2 games against top 6 sides, they've shown they're not going to be pushovers. They're going to raise their game. They're going to try. They're feeling better. Whether Moyes has got them working differently or got them confident again, I don't know. I'm not a West Ham fan, but they're playing substantially better than they were a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, we need to win. Like I said, away form for them's an issue. We're not playing away from home, but if we can try and mimic that in that they're really having teething problems in the London Stadium, similar to us to present day at Emirates. Let's try and it's not really home for them. Let's try and get our crowd rocking. Let's try and get the players rocking. Let's try and quiet their fans, and then it feels like an away game, and we have half the chance. They win, they can move up to thingy. They can move as high as 15th again, depending on results. After us, they've got Stoke, Newcastle, West Brom, Bournemouth. So yeah, and I think Spurs after that. But up until Spurs, you'd expect them to take points in a couple games like this, or fancy themselves and take points off the people around them. Like I said, they're gonna take confidence from their last two fixtures that they've played. We really need to be putting in a performance, man. Like West Ham, we won 4-1, 5-1 there. Was it 4-1 or 5-1? 5-1 because Alexis scored a hat-trick. 5-1 there last year. We need to win. I'm not going to lie, I do expect a good performance whenever we play West Ham, sorry. But whenever we play West Ham, because of do you remember when we wore the white kit? I've said this before. When we wore that white kit and we dropped a 2-0 lead with Gallas, I've always been a bit wary and playing Hammers. And added to that, especially when they come to our place. You remember Marlon Hill had done the double on us a couple of years ago. Hammers is always a game. You always find referees do bookie decisions or bookie things happen. We really need to get at them. We need to read, and them man there are going to be full of confidence because of the last two games. But we need to remember before that how they were playing. If we get in there, we disrupt them, we rattle them, we make sure they're not organised, they're not communicating as well. The uncertainty is going to creep into their game. People are going to make mistakes. They're going to force long balls. If they play Antonio through the middle like they did against Chelsea, we're in for our centre halves are going to have to work very hard, because you know Antonio's going to run the channels. He's going to chase lost causes. I expect us to win, but it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. We cannot stand off Lanzini and things like that. We need to watch our runners as well. But yeah, in regards to the lineup, obviously I'm going with check and goal. Firstly, check and goal, probably the easiest one, because you guys know I'm not a fan of Mustafi. Koscielny, we need a better performance, but I'm going with Koscielny. I hope Mustafi's got over the injury problems and Mustafi's there. I think it's a chance to play Rob Holding. I'm not joking at all, man. Koscielny actually could have come out this side, but we need our captain to play, or whatever, our captain on paper. So I'm going to play Holding instead of Monreal, man. Monreal's had some decent games and he's had some bad games which don't get spoken about. But I feel this is a chance for Holding. So that's the back three. Well, back four, check. Koscielny, Mustafi, Holding. Left-hand side, Kola. I'm going on him on the left. He's been a very good signing for us. Right-hand side, I need a performance from Hector Bellerin. He hasn't necessarily been bad, but he needs to improve a bit more. He needs to push himself. I do think now, well, I've said this before, but he is suffering from a lack of competition. And if we don't get a performance on Saturday, I think you might have to bring in Chambers or Debussy or do something else, to be honest with you. Wild card, but Reece Nelson, based on the fact that he's played right back. Yeah, you guys know how much I love him in his favoured position, but something needs to be done for Bellerin to want to improve, because some of the performances have not been good enough. They haven't been bad, but he's selling himself short. Hector Bellerin on the right. Through the middle, Ramsey's allegedly got a hamstring problem, and I'm pretty sure he didn't finish the end of the Southampton game. No, he didn't he? I can't remember, but either way, Wenger said he's got a hamstring problem. These hamstring problems are a bit booky. Whether he's going to be out for 2 weeks or a month, we don't know. But I wouldn't risk him against Hammers. I'd rest him for the weekend and see what he's saying then. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go with Xhaka in midfield and Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere has to start, man. Come on, you saw him play very well when he came off the bench against Southampton. Play the ball forward for once. He's got to play. So Xhaka and Jack Wilshere in the midfield because of Ramsey's hamstring problems. I don't want to risk that. And the front three, I'm going with Ozil on the right, which obviously is going to become more. It's 3-4-3 at the moment, but it's going to become a 3-5-2 as Ozil drifts inside the match in real terms, and the two strikers stay inside. But Ozil on the right, Lacazette through the middle. Alexis Sanchez on the left. Now, last time we played at this ground, you scored a hat-trick and we won 5-1. You need a performance. You got an assist on the weekend, but you weren't at your best. Haven't been at your best for a while now, and you've been getting away with a lot of this. I'm a mad fan of Alexis, but if you don't want to be here, don't want to be here. But and I'm not even going to say you owe it to the fans, because you don't owe us nothing. You don't owe the club nothing, because you're not an Arsenal fan or what, and it is what it is. But you owe it to yourself to play better than this, Alexis, because you look like a shadow of your former self these last 2 game weeks. So yeah, so to recap, I'm going with check and goal, Back three of Koscielny, Mustafi and Holding. Left hand side Kolar. Right hand side Hector Bellerin. Through the middle Jack Wilshere and Xhaka. And the front options of Ozil, obviously, Lacazette and Alexis Sanchez, at least until January, we can say this. So yeah, man, guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. Thank you very much for watching, of course, man, and hopefully we get the 3 points.